Greetings and salutations. How y'all doing? In this video, I want to talk about EzeeTalk, which we launched on Friday. I'll give you a follow-up on that. Also, I want to talk a little bit about what it is and why we made it and all that good stuff. Also, I want to do a little tiny bit of a follow-up on Xubuntu or Xubuntu, which is the Ubuntu spin with the XFCE desktop. Did a video about that a while back and it sucked me in. I'm still using it. First of all, let me explain that I am fighting some allergy/sinus issues, and the weather is not helping where I am in the world. We have a lot of thunderstorms rolling through the area, which means the barometric pressure is going up and down, and I am a human barometer at this point, so I'm a little... So if I don't sound like I'm firing on all 8 cylinders in this video, that's because I'm really not. First of all, let's talk about EzeeTalk. What is it? On Friday, I posted a very short little video where I introduced it, and I had been teasing it on Facebook by saying something big is coming. So that's why that video has the title that says something big is here, EzeeTalk, because it originally went up in the wee small hours of the morning on Friday. I posted it at 5 o'clock on the Facebook page. Now the reason why I did that was because I wanted to have a kind of soft start to the forum. I wanted to be able to sit and watch it and make sure that it was working okay, and it was. So a little bit later in the day I said, hey, what the hey, I'm going to go ahead and put that video up on YouTube. And so far we have 347 new subscribers to the forum, and I really think that is awesome. That's more than I thought we would get over 2 days, and this is it. This is EzeeTalk. Going back to the Easy Linux page, you'll see that there is now a link up here next to news that says EzeeTalk, and there's another one right here on the page that says talk with us on EzeeTalk. So if you want to get to it, that's how you get to it. It's just easylinux.com/talk. That's the direct address. And it is a forum. It is an old school forum, the kind you see all over the internet. And yes, there are ups and downs to these sorts of forums, but the major reason why we wanted to do this, and I say we because this is very much as much my project as it is Jeremy O'Connell from CyberWeb Solutions, who actually did the engineering behind the scenes. The main reason that we want to do this is because we have total control over this. We have control over this forum from the server operating system on down. So we do not have to worry about the whims of some other project or other corporation. This is all 100% open source and running on Linux, and we have complete, absolute control over it. And that means that if you want to come and be a part of the community in this forum, then please feel free to do so. And the only thing that you need to sign up is an email address and a username. That's it. And it's all very secure. It's on our own server. We have lots of security features up and running. Everything is HTTPS. So, you know, feel confident that your stuff's not going into some big database that's being shared out to God knows who by large corporations. Because people have asked, why did you do this? Why didn't you start a Reddit page? Why didn't you start Discord? Because that is just some other service. This is us completely. We control it. And there are 3 administrators that run this forum. There's me, there's Jeremy O'Connell, and then there's John Spoonemore, who has been very kind to step up and become a moderator. So we're controlling this. And that's good, because we're going to try and keep the bots and the riffraff out. And we're not going to let people get in here and be nasty. It's just not going to happen. At the top of the forums here, when you click into a forum, you will see that, let's just go to Mint right here, you'll see that there is some pretty simple rules that are outlined, and you know, they're pretty straightforward. Follow these rules, you'll be good. And I think anybody who really genuinely wants to be a part of the community won't have a problem with doing something like that anyway. Just, you know, that's the way it is. There are 6 categories here, and within, well, no, there are 2 categories and 6 forums. Let's get that straight. And this is pretty much how it's going to stay for a while. some folks have asked, well, can you open up a forum for Fedora? Can you open up a forum for MX Linux? And the truth of the matter is I'm not going to do that. And because if we did that, what would happen is we'd pretty much end up with Lord knows how many different forums for any distribution anybody wanted to talk about. It would get quite confusing. So the EzeeLinux project has traditionally been about Linux Mint and Ubuntu. Newbie friendly, new user friendly distributions. So we have up here in the support category, you will see that we have a forum for Mint, a forum for Ubuntu and its children, all of the different spins, and then anything else is under GNU/Linux, and then Bash and Unix and whatever. Just throw it in there, open up a thread. So that's where you would talk about anything that's not Mint or Ubuntu. Then down here we've got Other, and the first one is the EzeeLinux Community Commons. This is where you can talk about pretty much anything and just try and get to know each other. And there's not a whole lot of rules on this. I mean, it should be somewhat related to computers and Linux, but nobody's going to boot you off for not, sticking to that. I wanted it to be free and open. And then we have down here tips and tricks, which was a suggestion from a community member, which I think is a pretty good idea. The only thing to keep in mind is this is stuff from the community that's being posted. So proceed at your own risk. You don't know. It might break your computer to have somebody do somebody else's suggestion. It all depends on their skill level and your skill level. Do you understand what they're talking about? So just be careful there. That's true of anything that you find on the internet. And then finally, Ideas, which is mainly a place for people to give feedback to me and the community in general about stuff that we might be addressing, and some people have already come up with some pretty interesting things. So this is basically it. This is the forum. And it's been very well accepted, and a lot of people have said very nice things, so I do appreciate that. There are a few folks who have outstanding activations on their accounts. If you're waiting for an email and that goes on forever and you do not get a confirmation email, then please contact me directly. Give me your username. Tell me that you tell me what the deal is, and I will go in and activate your account. Like I noticed that one person who is a big follower of these videos, the DOS Boss, I saw that your account was pending, so I went ahead and activated it. But there's some other folks who are waiting, and don't be discouraged and go away. It's just sometimes the email doesn't make it through. Sometimes it ends up in your spam folder, whatever, something like that. So feel free to contact me directly, and I'll make sure that you get signed up. And other than that, I mean, there's not much more to talk about. It's pretty straight up, and it's easy to use, and it's a lot of fun. And like I said, this software is free and open source, and it's totally within our control. So we can modify it and do whatever we want to it. Somebody asked about putting it in a dark mode. I don't know how to do that. That might be a plugin available to it. So Jeremy, if you're listening, we might want to look into that. Somebody said you might want to click dark mode on the forum. We're kind of learning our way through this as we roll along ourselves, but we've been very pleased with the response. So thank you to everybody. It's EzeeTalk from EzeeLinux, and I mean, it's just gotten to a point, gang, where YouTube is not the world's greatest social area to talk back and forth, and from my point of view, it is very hard to moderate YouTube. It's very hard to keep up with everybody's messages. And then, of course, we're doing Facebook as well, but Facebook has its own limitations too. This is more free and open. People can post more long-form things. You can post code here, which is really nice. So if you want to, give an example of a script or some sort of error message or something like that, you can go up in the composition thing and you can post code, and it will keep all that formatted the way it's supposed to. And that's something you cannot do on YouTube. You cannot do that on Facebook. So it's a lot of little things like that. And really what it comes down to for me, I've been wanting to do this for years, literally, but a lot of stuff had to be done before we could get to this point. First of all, I really wanted to have the website on its own server where we controlled the server and we can have HTTPS up and running so everything is nice and secure. So that had to happen. That happened earlier this year at the beginning of the summer. And so it was time to do this. Now we can run the forum, and that way it's as secure and as locked down as it possibly can be, so that you guys can be confident about sending in your information and posting whatever you want to post, knowing that it's not, insecure, or as secure as we can make it. Let's put it that way. And the other thing is that everybody rises to the level of their incompetence sooner or later. And that's where I'm at as far as answering your questions is concerned, because my Linux needs are actually quite simple. And people ask about things all the time. Some of you children out there are doing some things with your Linux boxes that I just don't know what to tell you. So I usually send you a link to some documentation somewhere for people who ask those personal things, or send me a personal message and ask stuff like that. Whereas here, there's a lot of smart folks on this forum, and chances are if you post it up here, somebody smarter than me might see it and give you a better answer than I could. So there you go. This is for you guys. This is not about me putting out my agenda. This is about a place where everybody in the community can chat and talk. So that is EzeeTalk. Now, before we wrap up said video that we're doing right now, I want to talk a little bit about this, which is my Xubuntu 18.04 desktop. I have been sucked in by Xubuntu. XFCE has reached out again and said, come on, come home. I used to run XFCE on Linux Mint long time ago, did it for a long time, loved the desktop, and got called away by more fancier, snazzier things. And before I did this, I was running GNOME, and I liked GNOME. There's nothing wrong with it, and if it works great for you, that's fine. This is just all personal preference on my part, that I wanted to do this and see how this was going to work. And I installed it to do a review video, and then I tried to go back to Ubuntu, and I ran into some technical problems. I don't know what it is. I can't get the Qt integration to work like I did before. The fonts won't scale, and I don't know whether it's me or whether something's changed in the distribution. It's crazy. So I swapped these hard drives back in that have Xubuntu on them, and I have been tickled pink ever since. Now, one thing I did do is I swapped out some applications. So, for instance, like, I'm not using mousepad. I put gedit on here. And let's see, what else did I swap out? I swapped out I'm going to say this wrong for sure. It's Ristretto, which is an image viewer that comes with Xubuntu. And I put the GNOME image viewer on there and installed gthumb for working with pictures and things like that. But other than that, other than swapping out a few little applications and then of course putting in a command to tell the NVIDIA card to do its own compositing so there wouldn't be any screen tearing, that was it. I've been using this ever since, and it's been super stable. I did crash it once by opening up like 6 virtual machines at the same time. So, I mean, I don't know whether I can blame XFCE or Xubuntu for that. That was me just goofing around. That was too many virtual machines open at once and ran out of memory, and the system just went, I ain't budging. But other than that, it's been very stable. And you see here that you have the Virtualbox, which is a Qt application. That's rendering quite nicely. I've got a Numix theme going, and of course, the way Qt apps render is they revert back to, I think it's like Oxygen. That is one of the basic Qt themes that it reverts back to, but it's not so far off from the other thing that it sticks out too much. I couldn't make this work in Ubuntu 18.04 with a GNOME desktop, and I tried it 2 or 3 times, and I was like, what have I done wrong? So if anybody knows if there's because I don't remember putting a tweak in to make that happen. I thought it was set up to do that out of the box, that the fonts would scale and everything would be all right, and now it's not doing it. So I can't figure that out. But anyhow, I'm enjoying my time playing around with this, and you'll notice that we have some This is capturing HD video right here. That's what it looks like when it runs. So that's what all that CPU activity is about. But yeah, it works good. And I think that's all I wanted to say. So I'm here for now. I like GNOME. Nothing wrong with it if it works for you. This is just a personal preference sort of thing. Like I always say at the end of these videos, your feedback is welcome. Give EzeeLinux a like on Facebook. Check out EzeeLinux.com. Check out EzeeTalk on EzeeLinux.com. Also, check out FreedomPenguin.com for more interesting stories about Linux from contributors such as myself. Until we do it again, see ya.